Hi, Brian.
How you doing?
Obviously, from the top of the draft, you came away with a very good player with Jalen. Came up with an extra first-round pick than you had when you started the process. I was just curious, with the Falcons coming in tomorrow, how tempted were you and Chris? Were you tempted at any time to sit at 3 and select Kyle Pitts? And did the fact you have a good tight end room contribute ultimately to you not going in that direction?
Uh, we're excited about the draft choices from this past year. Um, Obviously, a lot of work went into that. Chris and his staff, along with with the coaching staff, a lot of evaluations, a lot of meetings, a lot of interviews with players. When you're the current the state of the current roster goes into some decisions, but at the end of the day, we try to um, pick the best player available, and we're happy with the guys with the guys that we selected, and I'm sure they're happy with the guys that they selected as well. There was like 4 questions there, Barry. I don't know if I got them all.
Yeah, I guess again, just one thing we just never asked you about Pitts, whether he was a consideration at all for you and Chris in going through the process.
Man, we're focused on the guys that are on our roster, coaching them up, helping them get better, and that's kind of where we're at.
There was a report that Burns is going to need or has had wrist surgery, and it's going to take about 3 months to recover from that. What can you tell us about his situation?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Allen's having a good camp, and vet player brings leadership, and we're gonna end up placing him on IR at some point. So unfortunate. Kind of I won't call it a freak play, but that's pretty much what it was, and it's pointing in that direction. Just all the information we've gotten so far. So I don't know. He's disappointed, as we're disappointed. But that's kind of part of the game, and we've got to move on and just continue to practice and get better with the guys we have.
Are any of the receivers who have been out recently, Devontae, Preston, Fuller, Albert Wilson, do any of those have a decent chance to practice against the Falcons?
Well, all those guys will be out today. We'll see about tomorrow. They're day to day. They're all working to get back. Those become pretty competitive practices, or I shouldn't say pretty competitive. They're very competitive practices. And with guys who have been out, you kind of want to ease them back. So if they are back, I wouldn't expect too much out of them. But getting closer, I would say. But just taking it one day at a time.
With Jalen Phillips, you guys had him practice in the first joint practice and then sort of scaled it back. He didn't play in the exhibition game. Is that a regression, or is this a management situation? Where is his stats for practicing this week?
Jalen will be out there today. Again, when we're trying to work guys back, we just want to take our time, not have any setbacks. So Jalen will be out there today. He'll be out there. We plan on working him in against Atlanta, whether it's both days, the first day. We'll kind of talk through that. But I think, again, he's doing everything he can possibly do to get out there. And as a young guy, he's gonna, he needs reps, and but at the same time, we want to be smart about the way we our plan on bringing him back or working him back in.
Having to start really making cuts. What's this day like for you? And is it gonna be tough to find the 5 guys that you need to cut it down?
Yeah, this day is always, a tough day. But at the end of the day, just got to be honest and transparent with guys and tell them the truth. And I understand there's going to be some disappointment, but got to do what's best for the team, and we have to make the cut. So,
With the running back rotation, is there an advantage to having a physical runner to start off like Malcolm Brown? Does that facilitate things later for Miles, Savon?
I mean, look, we like all the backs. I think they all bring something a little different. Malcolm's a little bit bigger, a little bit, has more what you may consider a power back, and Miles, um, kind of a change of pace, good quickness, good out of the backfield in the passing game. Savon's got good speed, good out of the backfield. So a lot of different qualities. I thought they all, played well in the preseason game, but just trying to come back today, have a good practice, have a good week of practice against Atlanta, and just continue to improve on a daily basis.
There were a few moments in the last game where Tua was able to use his feet and sense also pressure in the pocket to avoid pressure. How have you seen him develop in that area, and what do you think? How good do you think he does in that?
Well, I think that's part of quarterbacking, stepping up in the pocket, sliding in the pocket, um, to give yourself better throwing lanes. And I think he does a nice job of that. I think he's got a good feel for that, and I think he's aware of that, and we got good rushers in this league, so you're gonna have to step up and slide and find, create kind of, I would say, create some throwing lanes, which he's able to do, and we just need to keep repping it, keep getting repetitions on it. Some of that is understanding the protection and where there will be some step-up lanes, and seeing the front and seeing how the front's distributed, and if there's three guys over there, then my step-up lane's probably over here, and if there's, I think there's that comes with repetition. Down a distance, so there's a lot that goes into that, and I think he's definitely improving in that area.
Follow on David's question earlier about the running backs. Miles mentioned earlier this offseason he wanted to work on his conditioning and durability so he could play more. Does his issues with that in the past factor in usage for him, whether in the preseason or regular season?
I think Miles is in good condition. I think he can go. I think we're going to try to use the backs situationally that best fits their skill set, and then what's best for the team. So Miles can play on first down and second down and third down, but depending on the call, depending on the situation, we may put another player in there. And that's the case really for all positions. We try to put the best 11 guys that fit what we're going to do on that particular play. I think the entire team knows that. Miles is a team guy, so he's going to do what's best for the team. And if we need him to play 60, 70 snaps, he's has the ability to do that as well. So there's a lot that kind of goes into that, and I think at the end of the day, it's about doing what's best for the team. And put, us as coaches trying to put the players in the best positions, really situationally.
I'm aware that you're trying to disclose as little as possible in regards to who is calling plays, but I wanted to ask about Fry being the voice into his headset. What is the thought process of having, quarterback coach or former quarterback as the last voice that Tua hears in his ear before calling play, before execution of play?
I think as far as the beginning of that, I'm not. Well, let me just answer the question. I think when you're a position coach and you're, let me just tell you, when you're a position coach and you spend time with a player every day, you kind of have your own language, your own conversations about different plays. Hey, remember we talked about this like this. Or remember that we saw this in practice. That's a different relationship or way of speaking than it is with the coordinator. I know that because I've been a position coach and a coordinator. So the idea behind Charlie being the last or the person to give him the play call is that one or two things that they've talked about in their room specific to the quarterbacks. That just makes sense to me. I think that's pretty reasonable. and that's why we kind of do it that way. And then I know Joe asked about the play calling. Look, I mean, obviously you guys haven't been up in the coaches booth, but this is what happens. We got somebody's watching the front side of the play, somebody's watching the back side of the play, somebody's watching the coverage, the rotation, somebody's watching the fronts. So there's a lot of dialogue. I think at the end of the day, what happens is somebody says, "Hey, Tua," or somebody gives Charlie the call, and Charlie says, "Tua, wristband 33," and it's not 6 people talking to Tua. As you may think, that's just not what happens. Maybe that's too much information, but I mean, yeah, that's just I mean, that's what it is. It's wristband, wristband 37. Like that's the information that the quarterback gets. On the headset, the coaches are saying, "Hey, backside end's doing this. We might want to call wristband 38." Like that's kind of how that goes. So, Ann wanted me to explain that. I don't know. I guess.
It does help.
Okay.
So,
Well,
question for you. Tua doesn't hear the coach's communication.
No.
He hears what's coming from Charlie. That's it.
wristband 12.
And whatever the last to look for.
And then, hey, it's whatever that call is. Hey, remember we talked about, seeing this, that, or the other thing. Go. There's not 12 people talking to the guy. Well, it's just not how it goes. One guy with a button. But I guess I assume everyone knows that, but maybe I shouldn't.
And what's the reason for keeping the actual play caller's identity secret? What do you gain by that?
I mean, we just try to keep things internal. I just don't. I guess my question would be, what do you gain by that?
We know who's responsible for the play.
Well, I know who's responsible, and that's kind of where we go.
Do you think your opponent gains anything by
They
knowing?
may. They may.
Brian, in the headset era for quarterbacks, have you worked under any other system other than the one you just described about, wristband 33? Have you been a part of any other system, and what did you gain from using this system as opposed to any other?
I've been in some other systems, yes. I think, at times the headset communication goes out and you could miss part of the call if it's a longer call. So it's better to just say 33 and then they can just kind of read it and give it to, so you don't miss that. That's not an issue. That doesn't become an issue. Which is probably the number one reason, we've gone to this system. That makes sense.
Sure.
But headsets, they go out. I think that was kind of a league-wide issue this past week.
Ryan, is Beagle's absence at all related to the Achilles last year? I know he was in a boot, and is he going to come back anytime soon, or was this a serious setback?
I think he's taking it day to day. We're hopeful that he can get back, as soon as possible. But he's day to day, and he's treating and rehabbing and trying to improve on a daily basis.
Coach, I asked you a few weeks ago about your ball. You said that you wanted to give him an opportunity to compete in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
What have you seen from him? Do you think he's getting closer to that point where he gets an opportunity?
Yeah, he's doing well. Definitely making a lot of improvement. He's, he got banged up a little bit last week, but he's pushing through it. Like everybody, bumps and bruises, and just trying to work through a few things. And but he's having a good camp, and we're excited about hopefully getting him into the game this weekend.